you're addressing here, because how can we fight against lobbyists? How can we fight against someone's its own pride and arrogance to become a somebody? You know, you're fighting against things that are not very tangible when you go out and you put your vote in your ballot box. And Jason Raper totally disappointed me. So what do you do? How do you see that we can vote for guys that are going to be true to their word?
Okay, make the responses short, because I got two more questions back here, and then that's it.
Got wrong, Bill.
So make it real short response.
Yeah, to keep more people accountable, gosh, I had a great response, but I lost it. I'm gonna let Nick get into it, and I'll remember it as I go. But the biggest thing you've got to remember is that when I talk about with the policy window going forward, if you push the policy window in a direction where they have to do the right thing, they will. I mean, these people are, and not all of them, are cowards, and they are worried about their job in a re-election, and if they think that their re-election is in shape, no matter of lobbyists, is going to be able to change that. I know what the point was. Came right to me. You want to limit the ability of lobbyists, limit what government can spend, limit what government can do. I mean, we talk about campaign finance reform, you know, they want to, it's essentially a balloon, you know, you can squeeze a balloon, but the money will move. The only way to limit corruption and limit the spending is to limit what government can do. I mean, it's P.J. O'Rourke once said, as soon as the government gets in the business of buying and selling, legislators are the first to go. It's very true, so you've got to limit the sphere of influence that government has. You want to get rid of some of these, because honestly, the revolving door is an issue, and lobbyists are an issue, but if government couldn't spend that $125 million, let's say the GIF funds, maybe there's a law that changes it to say that surplus funds go back to the taxpayer. They don't have GIF money anymore. And we can have that conversation.
Exactly.
So limit the sphere. So, and this is, Curtis and I talked about this like almost a year ago. It's a bill called the Taxpayers' Bill of Rights, and it basically limits government growth to inflation and population growth, and surplus funds get returned to taxpayers. It's a conversation we can have, but the idea is limit the sphere of influence and limit the influence that
Okay, let me take one question right here.
Could you give details on the school choice rights that we got? In other words, for example, can I move to Bigelow and keep my kids in Conway schools?
Nick, you want to take that?
I would love to take that. Unfortunately, I was very much immersed in Medicaid expansion, and I did not get to cover a lot of the school choice stuff, so I apologize. I wish I could.
I think there's like 3% of each, is that the amount of population of Bigelow that can transfer out. So I would say you need immediately, that's what they did, 3% of the school children in Bigelow can transfer out. So you need to get on it like now. That's it, it's 3% is what can transfer out of each. So that, I don't know how many students are in Bigelow right now, but 3% of them can transfer out.
Per year?
Yeah, I can address
Yeah,
the
and then if you have a brother or sister, then they can be more than the 3%. But then, I mean, as of now, it's not raised or creed or anything, but I would say get on it today.
I'll tell you really quickly. We think, okay, school choice passed, so immediately now the money that was allocated to my kid can go to any school. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Indiana just passed one of the largest school voucher bills, which passed a constitutional muster. And at best, they get half the amount of money, so that like if the state of Indiana, $9,000 for the student allocation, they get $4,500. You have to qualify based on income, and you had to have attended a public school in the year previous, so the income savings, again, it's a real, there's a lot. So to answer your question, no, it's not that simple, and this wasn't as transformative as Indiana's was.
Why? Just because it's the way it's written?
It is. Well, and to make it through,
Same old thing has to be
right? You know,
complex.
it's that's why you start with a real good bill, and then when it gets mashed up through committee and all the people put in their little pieces, it's not as strong.
And the other thing is that it's one of the most powerful lobbyist groups in the state of Arkansas is the Teachers and Superintendent Association. And they watered that thing down in a significant way.
But to your point, we just need to do more work on convincing people that school choice is the right thing to do. Charter schools, you know, results speak for themselves, and they wanted to, what teachers lobbyists love is they let a little tiny sliver of school choice pass, and when it doesn't do anything because they didn't get anything, they can say, see, it doesn't work. They love that. So we've got to push for stronger reforms. using the Indiana model. School choice is a huge issue for us. Again, you guys got to get on our email list. Tell
Okay.
you all about this stuff.
Here's what we're gonna do. Make sure that Janet's gonna put those in our newsletter, and these folks are gonna be sticking around at the meet and greet this evening. And Bob is gonna come up here. He's got some additional things. But let's give these guys a hand for coming out.
Thank you very much, David. I'd like to thank our guests, Nick and Mary and Jason. Thank you very much for your time. Good comments. We appreciate it. Obviously, we could go a lot longer, but there's a lot more interest, but there's a lot of other meetings, a lot of other days we can do that. I wanted to have just one moment of special recognition. We've got a new player on the team. We have an official Faulkner County Tea Party videographer. And so this meeting tonight, the document will be on YouTube and then available for passing around where we want to pass it. So that's just something brand new we're doing, and it'll help communicate information better. A lot of good information here tonight, as there is at most of our meetings, and we want to be sure to capture that on YouTube and make it available so you can see it at home or someplace else. Other than that, we have some coffee and cookies over here, and our guests will stay around and chat a little bit. We really appreciate their time. Thank you very much.